Hi everyone, welcome to World Vision's podcast, Usapang Makabata. I'm David Riaferio, Public Affairs Manager of World Vision in the Philippines. Today's episode is about keeping children safe against child exploitation. Paano nga ba pangangalagaan yung mga kabataan, anumang edad nila, no? Mga dalaga, mga binata, even yung mga sanggol at mga toddlers, mga teenagers, paano sila mapapangalagaan against these kinds of abuses? Our guest is Daphne de Guzman Colanag, Director of World Vision's Project Against Child Exploitation or Project ACE. Ate Daph, welcome to Usapang Makabata.
Maraming salamat, David, and thank you for this opportunity na makapagbahagi tungkol sa paano natin mapoproteksyonan ng mga bata against child exploitation. Ano bang, saan tayo magsisimula?
Ayun ate, kami nga rin ang dapat na magpasalamat din ano kasi you made time for this podcast natin sa World Vision. Siguro po umpisahan natin, ipakilala mo na sino nga ba si Ate Daphne? Paano po kayo napunta sa ganitong industry, halimbawa sa NGO sector? And ano po yung mga personal na ministry na kinabilangan ninyo na later on ay nakatulong sa inyong trabaho?
Sige, siguro simulan natin nung bata pa ako, that was decades ago. Lumaki kasi ako sa pamilya na malapit kami sa simbahan. So, yung values namin for life, especially no, yung mga magulang ko, natutunan namin ng pagpapahalaga sa lahat ng bata from the moment of conception, mula dun sa sinapupunan. Kaya nung naalala ko isang matinding kwento ng mga bata pa kami na may neighbor kami na gusto niyang ipa-abort yung dinadala niya, no? So,
Mhm.
nurse kasi ang mother ko. So, my mom tried to counsel her. Pero kaming magkakapatid, tatlo kami noon, wala pa yung bunso namin that time. Pinakit niya kami sa second floor. Sabi niya, be on your knees, magdasal kayo. Para habang kinakausap niya yung kapitbahay namin to tell her na bata yon yung sanggol na nasa kanyang sinapupunan. So, vivid sa akin yung memory na bata pa
Mhm.
kami, tinuturuan na kaming magdasal para sa mga unborn at saka sa mga bata. And kinalakihan nga namin na kahit minsan parang walang-wala na kami pag may nanghingi sa mother ko na nanghingi ng tulong na mga disadvantaged family, hahatiin niya kahit magkano ilang pesos lang yung nasa
Mm.
may lalagyan kami sa taas ng ref ng petty cash, ganon. So, parang kinalakihan namin na you have to be charitable, no? What being charitable means is also speaking up for those who cannot speak for themselves. So, na-nurture yon sa family. Tapos, naging Legion of Mary din ako. So, natututong magbahay-bahay, no? Sa community, makipag-usap sa mga tao. And then, nung college ako, I was at UP Diliman. So, doon nagsimula yung kamulatan na kung hindi tayo, sino, no? Kung hindi
Mhm.
ngayon, kailan. So, merong kailangan dapat gawin for justice, for peace, and to have hope. So, na-involve ako towards my later years sa student movement, no?
Mhm.
So, yung mga issues ng justice at injustice sa lipunan, ganon. Tapos, medyo nawala ako kasi nung college, I took up hotel and restaurant administration. Yung 80s kasi yun boom na industry, no? Yung hotel industry. That was the time naman na yung panahon ni Macleing Dulag, no? Sa norte na I had to forgo yung immersion sa lugar ni Macleing Dulag kasi nandun yung I had to go for my internship sa Manila Hilton, yung five-star hotel nung panahon na yon. So, medyo nawala ako doon, pero while in the hotel, siguro 2 years into working sa front office, sa international reservations, ganun, nakaramdam ako ng tawag na parang tinawag akong magmadre. So, pumasok ako sa Pink Sisters habang kwento, no? Sa Pink
Mhm.
Sisters, I think I was there for 2 years nung panahon ng EDSA Revolution. Ako na may pumapasok noon. Doon lumalim yung aking relasyon sa Panginoon na parang bang nanghihinayang ako nung ginagawa ko dito, dasal, puro dasal yun kasi I was with the contemplative sisters na yung Pink Sisters. Pero yun yung na-nurture na kahit nandun ka lang sa isang sulok ng kumbento, madaming nangyayari na kailangan ipagdasal sa mundo kasi na-expose na nga ako nung nasa UP ako. Eventually, lumabas ako. Pinalabas ako. Hindi lang basta lumabas. It was a decision that the sister said, baka hindi yun yung calling ko. No? So after 2 years, I left. But before that, nag-work ako sa hotel. Yung pala, isang very memorable. Outside the hotel, may 3 street children
Mm-hmm.
that I became friends with, no? Na sometimes after office hours, kasi sa hotel, papasok ka kahit naka-shorts ka lang, yung uniform mo kasi, di ba, bibigay sa'yo malinis na, ganon. I became friends sa 3 siblings na naging mga vendors sa kalye sa Ermita. Nung papasok na ako ng kumbento, nagpapaalam ako sa kanila. Kasi after office, minsan naglalaro kami sa luneta, magtatakbuhan kami, gano'n. So I told them na ako'y papasok na sa kumbento, ganyan. At baka gusto nyong tumira sa bahay namin, at least for the Christmas holidays.
Mm-hmm.
It really touch my heart nung sabi nila, ate, pag umalis ka na, sino nang magmamahal sa amin? Oh, naiyak ako.
Sige lang
So
po, Ate
I
Beth.
wanted to make sure na merong aaruga sa kanila kahit sa kalye lang. So I asked my mom na through the ASI, yung Asian Social Institute, na ipasok sila doon for care, no? For shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya lang nung makalabas ako ng kumbento after 2 years, wala na rin sila doon. So they escape and then I look for them sa Ermita, wala na rin sila. But that experience had an impact on me, no? Yung sino nang magmamahal sa amin. So from the convent, I work sa parokya. Nagkataon that time, nagsisimula yung Street Children Program ng between UNICEF, DSWD, and yung pinasukan ko. Child Hope siya ngayon, pero
Mm-hmm.
dati siyang, I forgot the name. Hindi siya Child Hope pa nung araw, no?
Opo.
COAFP. COAFP ang tawag sa kanya. Council for the Welfare of Children something na foundation. Nagkaroon sila ng invitation sa mga parishes to do advocacy for street children. Tapos part nung training, role play, syempre, no? So, role play for street children, because I had that experience with children, I was speaking from the heart, no? Parang role play lang siya to advocate for street children, but I was talagang moved, no? And I think I moved the trainers. They got me to be an advocacy project coordinator, advocacy
Mm-hmm.
for yung Pasay Parañaque cluster. Dati Pasay lang siya, nag-expand na naging ano. And then there we started na uh, yung Inaanak Foundation ng mga LOPA, yung mga rich women of Pasay. So I was advocating with them. I was inviting myself sa mga civic organizations, Rotary, Lions, lahat doon sa Pasay.
Mm-hmm.
So we were able to partner with Sons of Mary, nagkaroon ng shelter for street children. And that grew up to become Pangarap Shelter, and you can still find them in Pasay, and meron na rin silang community sa Paliparan, sa Cavite. So for years, I've worked with street children sa Pasay. But then, after some time, kinuha ako ng office ni Senator Joey Lina, no? Because
Mm-hmm.
Joey Lina at that time was getting involved dun sa pro-life movement, at yun yung malaking usapin noon. So I was a legislative staff officer of Joey Lina. Yung usapin ng issue ng reproductive health na tutol si Joey Lina dahil doon sa mga issue ng abortive patient. So bumabalik sa right to life ng mga
Opo.
bata, no? So, doong panahon din na yon, naging bahagi din kami nung ako'y nasa Street Children Work pa. Ginagawa pa lang yung United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, draft
Oh,
of the
nice.
UNCRC. So that reveals my age na, no? The UNCRC was adopted in 1989. So that
Mm-hmm.
time, coming from the street children work, pagdating kay Joey Lina, I was part of the technical working group that reviewed all the laws leading to RA 7610, yung ating
Mm.
anti-abuse and neglect and exploitation of children law. So, as part ng Philippine ratification ng United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, we came up with RA 7610. I was very young that time, no? Nag-attend kami ng public hearings, so I saw, like, I'll have to say, in one town in Laguna, alam naman natin, no, merong hotel na nakalagay sa desk, shoot the rapids at day, shoot the boys at night. So very na prostitution being promoted sa hotel mismo. And I
Mm.
was very young. I saw the index box of pictures ng mga bata in various poses. Hindi pa uso no ng online
Really?
sex abuse, no? It was
Uh-huh.
pictures being passed on or pwedeng pass on through internet ng mga
Mhm.
rings ng pedophilia. And you could hear in the public session, yung mga communities divided. Sinasabi ng iba, mababait naman yung mga foreigners na yan. Binibigyan kami ng bike,
Mm.
binibigyan kami ng ref.
Yeah.
Kapalit ng
Oo.
they didn't know. They didn't
Oo.
see yung mga pictures ng mga bata. That was 1989, no? Mga panahon na yon.
Uh-huh.
So, that early I was exposed to how people could abuse children. Tapos,
Ate, buti hindi ka napigilan kasi alam mo yun, parang hearing it now, nung panahon na yon, though exposed ka na rin sa development work, pero di ba parang bago ba yon sa mga panahon na yon? Kumbaga, hindi ba
that time,
nakakatakot, nakakagulat?
that time talagang parang, ha, may ganito pala, ganun
Opo, oo
yung
nga.
feeling ko, no? That was more than 30 years ago. Ang ano pa lang noon, yung mga issues ng pedophiles, yun yung term noon eh.
Aha.
And then
Mm-mm.
sa office ni Senator Joey Lina, because he was the committee chair for children, sports and youth development, sometimes you would receive reports ng areas where there's child prostitution or
Mhm.
abuse of children, no? So, that early, I got exposed, and then yun nga, dun sa RA 7610 was the first sa Philippines kasi sa Philippine jurisprudence kasi makukulong ka lang, mapaparusahan ka pag may ginawa kang krimen. Ang RA
Okay.
7610 is the first law na hindi mo pa nagawa, pwede kang maparusahan dahil nagkaroon ng provision attempt to commit child prostitution. So that
Mm.
kahit yung attempt lang, pag nakita ng reasonable adults makakita, nandun yung mga circumstances that would lead for you to prostituting a child,
Mhm.
pwede nang maparusahan, no? So,
Okay.
natuwa ako kasi after being part of the creation of RA 7610, from being a legislative staff of Senator Joey Lina, I had the opportunity naman na ipaalam yung batas. Kasi
Mm.
I came, bago pala yon, I left the office of Joey Lina to become a lay missionary in Pakistan. No?
Mhm.
So, gano'n, umalis ako. Kasi nung nandun naman ako sa Pakistan, na-expose naman ako sa mga children who are parang domestic workers, mga mechanics, pero ibang-iba yung poverty sa Pakistan. Exposed na ako sa poverty sa Philippines because of street children work.
Mhm.
Pagdating ko doon, nakita ko mas grabe pala yung poverty na dinadanas nila. Tapos children, uh, cleaning ladies ang tawag sa kanila, no? Mga domestic workers, ganyan. So, expose ako doon. Pero I was there for only 2 years. Kasi parang naglalaban yung kalooban ko na what am I doing here in Pakistan? Daming pwedeng gawin sa Pilipinas. At the time, I was thinking of doing work for either children, the elderly, or people with the HIV/AIDS. No? Doon
Mhm.
ang leading. Pero nakita ko the Lord has helped me from my childhood days, talagang nasa children's rights. Kasi I came back to the Philippines, so I had to look for work, no? And that time naman, nakuha ako ng Child Hope Asia Philippines. They got a small grant to help children in commercial sexual exploitation and
Mhm.
sexual exploitation of children So we helped together with Miss Tessie Silva of Child Hope. We were able to put up Tahanang Santa Luisa. Yun yung home for sexually abused girls naman. And
Mhm.
doon naman ako na-expose sa grabe. I thought grabe na yung mga nakita kong pictures. Pero to
Oo
be
nga.
in touch, to be with girls who were sexually abused, no? At
Mhm.
that time, child prostitution and then sexual abuse. I remember a time I was seated beside three girls, magkakapatid, no? Parang hagdanan kami. And they were telling me of their abuse doon sa kanilang amahan na pastor na they were sexually abused, no? These children, magkakapatid.
Mhm.
So sabi ko, grabe pala ang abuso, no? I could not comprehend. So doon din lumakas yung pananampalataya ako na this is a work of the devil, no? This can only be defeated by God's grace. So lahat ng trabaho ko naging parang, Lord, use me as an instrument. So, make me a mouthpiece. Sabi nga mga kaibigan ko, hindi ka pwedeng mag-social worker kasi habang nakikinig ako sa kwento nila, talagang tumutuloy yung luha ko. Hindi ko mapigilan eh. So,
Mhm.
from that work ng working with prostituted girls ng with Child Hope, ako na may lumipat ulit. Nakuha ako ng kinuha ako ng DOLE, ng Department of Labor. There was another ILO project supporting the Bureau of Workers and Young Workers dun sa kanilang child labor monitoring.
Mhm.
Uh, Nagsisimula noon yung ILO IPEC, International Program on the Elimination of Child Labor. And because I had the experience from RA 7610, I had exposed to children who had been working. I remember nung nasa Pasay ako, there was one afternoon, practically the whole afternoon, sumama ako sa isang batang magbubote, nagtutulak siya ng kariton, nagbobote
Mhm.
dyaryo. Tinabayan ko siya the whole afternoon just to listen to his stories, just to listen to their uh, mga kwento, ganun. So, na-expose ako doon yung mga street children na meron kaming office dati, wala pa yung Astrodome sa Pasay eh. Dati
Mhm.
nandun yung PIA office ng Pasay na yung mga street children, they come, they go, ganyan. Tapos, naalala ko, sometimes I stay after office, nakaupo kami sa sidewalk, kikwentuhan, dumating yung isang tanod, paghahampasin sila, paalisin sila, tumayo ako, sir, anong ginagawa ninyo? Ganyan, ba't yung sila dinataboy? Ay, ma'am, sabing ganon, kasi kilala na, nag-office ako doon. Kayo pala, sabi niya, ba't niyo ba pinag-aaksayan ng panahon yung mga batang yan? Sabi niya,
Mhm.
matitino lang yan pag nandiyan ka, pag talikod mo, nagsosolvent na yan because they sleep on the streets, no? So,
Mhm.
sabi ko, kaya nga nandito ako para at least habang nandito ako, hindi sila magsusolvent, hindi sila gagawa ng
Yeah.
kalokohan. But that incident, talaga tumibok sa akin yun eh. Kasi sabi ko, ganun din ako sa Panginoon, nagkakasala ako, pero I repent and then I make good. Ganun din yung mga bata niya. So nakita ko kung paano I could love and accept those children. Mas matindi yung pagtanggap sa akin ng Panginoon. So yun yung dala-dala ko nung kinuha ako sa DOLE na to work for child labor program monitoring, no. So I miss those boys na minsan pagdating ko ang hilig ko no ng mga light colored na damit, mahilig akong pastel nung bata ako. Pero dahil nung working with street children, sometimes they see me coming, tumatakbo na yan, aakap sila, ang dudumi nila, di nagkakadungis-dungis yung damit ko, sa natuto na akong gumamit ng earth colors. Anyway, nung nasa Dole na ako, I was in charge of engaging NGOs to work with the government sa child labor projects, no? At that time, ang UNICEF, meron pang third country program pa ng UNICEF. So, ganun katagal na yon, no? That was around the 2000, early 2000. So, I was helping Dole to engage with non-government organizations to promote yung protection of children. So I
Mhm.
I had the I had the blessed opportunity nung nasa Pasay to work with the Community Relations Office ng PNP tsaka mga barangay para ipaliwanag yung RA 7610. So, yung RA 7610, pinapaliwanag namin. So, sabi ko, Lord, doon ko nakita, parang tinahitahi ng Panginoon yung
Oo
yung
nga.
nilagay niya ako sa linya ng children's rights, no? So, pagdating naman sa DOLE, I was working on child labor. It was the child labor program monitoring team. Tapos, noon yung panahon na nagkaroon ng global march against child labor. And I had the opportunity to go and be part of dahil sa work ko sa DOLE, I was part of the National Coordinating Committee for the Global March dito sa Philippines. And then I was able to get a complimentary ticket to go to Geneva. Una dito sa
Aha.
Philippines. And then I also went to Pakistan because they knew I was in Pakistan for 2 years. So they sent
Mhm.
me also to go to Pakistan for the global march. And then from Pakistan, we moved to Iran. No?
Aha.
Nakakatakot yun kasi that was the time nakikita mo yung alam natin, di ba, yung sa between Pakistan and Iran, yung Afghan mountains, tapos yung mga Talibans. And there were two buses kami na foreign delegates, children and
Aha.
adults from various countries. Tapos hindi kami nag-aeroplano, pinag-bus kami papunta ng Iran. Galit
Bakit
na
daw
galit.
ate? Para ma-experience nyo yung ano?
Hindi ko
I
alam,
mean,
basta yun yung
aha.
decision naman ng Pakistan na coordinating committee for the global march. So we were two bus loads, no, mga children, victims and advocates. Galit na galit yung Amerikana kasi takot na takot siya kasi kung sakali siya yung unang magiging
Oo
hostage.
nga.
But we were able to move to Iran, got to Iran. Supposedly pupunta pa from Iran di diretso ng Turkey, kaya lang I had to go back kasi may dalawang bata na ang excuse nila from school would expire, so I had to bring back the two children. Anyway, from there then we flew to Geneva. So nagpahinga sandali, back to work, and then I got to Geneva to be part of the first reading nung naging convention, ILO Convention 182. So yun yung nakita ko pati yung pag-develop natin ng ILO Convention, and that's the first, by the way, this is the 25th anniversary ng unanimous ratification ng
Mhm.
ILO Convention 182. 26 years ago in the Philippines, it was launched, no? Tapos a year after na unanimous adoption, naunahan tayo ng Indonesia, but what does it mean to ratify a convention? It meant we
Sige
had
po.
to review all the laws and see how we are protecting children. So, bagamat after RA 7610, nagkaroon ng RA 7658, fine-tuning yung issue sa child labor, nagkaroon tayo ng panibagong batas, RA 9231, following yung ILO Convention on the worst forms of child labor. Kasi nakita, nung early 70s kasi, nagkaroon ng ILO Convention on the minimum age for employment. So 70s yun, the Philippines ratified panahon na ni President Ramos kasi we showed na, sabi nila, why do we need to ratify the ILO Convention on minimum age? 14 yun sa ILO. Sa Philippine Labor Code, 15 na. Mas mataas na tayo. But we
Mhm.
said that it was not just about the age. It was about working conditions of children,
Mhm.
prohibition ng night work, etc. So panahon ni Ramos, we ratified it, and then after we ratified ILO Convention 182, nagkaroon tayo ng Republic Act 9231. At yung Republic Act 9231, we were very happy kasi it was Senator Lauren Legarda, no, who sponsored the bill. Tandang-tanda ko, Senate Bill 1530 siya. Tapos
Mhm.
5 years, no, pinirmahan siya. It was enacted to law by President Gloria Arroyo naman. So there, so parang nakita ko yung how the Lord has blessed me to be part ng paggawa ng mga batas until ayon na-involved lang ako. So after working with the Dole, uh, nagpahinga ako. Akala ko pahinga na muna ako, no? So, uh, nagkaroon ako naging bahagi ako nung coordination nun sa ILO IPEC na linking government and non-government to work towards eliminating
Aha.
child labor. Tapos, nung 2003, after a while, 2002 yung dole. Tapos nagpahinga ako thinking, tapos na ako sa NGO work. So,
Aha.
my best friend and I, we put up a canteen na uh, ano yung best friend ko kasi nutrition and dietetics ang kanyang kurso. Ako naman hotel restaurant administration. So it was in the line ng
Oo nga, match.
and then I received a call from Dolor Cardenio of ERDA, Educational Research and Development Assistance Foundation. Sabi niya kami, yung Big Four, it used to be called Big Four, no? Yung World Vision, Child Hope, CCF, tsaka Plan. Sabi, mag-a-apply kami ng, ng funding sa US Department of Labor para sa Child Labor Project. Magkakasama na sila doon sa ACPSR, yung Empowering Children for Social Reform, no? So, yun yung title. So,
Opo.
sabi ko, sige, hiningi nila yung CV ko. Yung pala yung CV ko, ilalagay nila as part ng proposal to be the project director. So, I think several months yun eh. Every day, pag nagdadasal kami ng best friend ko, kasi ayun pa pala, nagkaroon pala ng project bago yon. Nagkaroon ng project ang ILO na regional project siya on footwear and fishing. Yung pala yung after ko lang. Dito sa Binyan, yung footwear project, yung sabi namin smelly projects kasi fishing and footwear. So yung footwear project, it ran for 2000 hanggang 2002. And may isang undersecretary ng US Department of Labor kasi they were funding that project na nagbisita. So they came to Binyan and then when I was presenting yung aming mga achievements doon sa project, we were in 2 barangays. Sabi niya, you should go to Geneva and teach people there to make reports. No? Tuwa naman ako. Sabi ng tatay ko, dapat sinagot mo, you should take me instead sa US DOA. Ganyan. Tawa na lang kami. Pero yun, after that, yun yung nagkaroon ng magpo-propose daw ang World Vision as lead agency. So, binigay ko yung CV ko, tapos nakakatawa yung taga World Vision US. After daw na sinubmit nila yung proposal, deadline na, sinubmit nila a few days after, tumawag daw yung isang chief ng division sa US DOL. Oh, so you're getting Daphne, sabi daw.
O, kilala
Sabi,
niya.
sabi ni Abi ko Kriyak yun sa World Vision US. Sabi niya, who is Daphne? Sabi daw. Kasi syempre mga Amerikano by their surnames. Daphne, your project director in your proposal. Tapos sabi niya, nung magkita kami in person, Daphne, they call you by your first name. Sabi ganon. Kasi I made an impression dun sa footwear project na we were able to mobilize yung Binyan League of Leaders. Talagang kasi I knew we are just a project, we need to get local stakeholders involved. So long story short, nanalo ang World Vision 2003 yon. That's my first encounter with World Vision, 2003. So that was ABK1, pag-aaral ng bata para sa kinabukasan. It ran from 2003 to 2007. And before 2007 ended, there was another grant na nagbid ulit ang World Vision as lead. Hindi ako ang nakalagay na project director kasi patapos pa lang yung ABK1. Nagtanong daw ang US DOL, bakit hindi na ba interesado si Daphne to proceed? Sabi nila, may 6 months pa na dapat tapusin. Sabi, what, can you not get somebody to take her place sa ABK1 para, yun. So, long story short, we got ABK2. And the ABK2, we did good. We exceeded the targets. So, yung ABK1, we had 30,000 children. ABK2, we helped another 30,000 children. And then there was an opportunity, 2011, for a $15 million grant to help children in sugarcane industry. Ayun, nanalo ulit tayo. But let me tell you, for the first grant, we did not expect to win. Kasi, NGO kalaban mo, mga nag-apply ang ILO, nag-apply ang UNICEF, kung gano'n. For the second grant, kalaban natin noon ay ILO partnering with UNICEF. Nag-team na sila. Natalo sila ng World Vision. For the third grant, nag-team ang ILO with the FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, and still World Vision got the award for ABK3 for $15 million. Now, why did we get this award? I believe it was because we were praying that, Lord, if this is your will, use us. No, that has always been my prayer even before ABK1. We were seeking the intercession na namayapa na yung undersecretary na pumunta dito. But it was
Mhm.
always my prayer, Lord, kung if this is for me, please, let us win. Kahit na minsan parang very humbling yun na alam mo yung kalaban dun sa isang ang project director sa proposal nila is a former undersecretary of the Department of Labor, nakilala ko mismo, no?
Uh-huh.
It's a very humbling experience, but I believe it is the Lord's will, kaya nakukuha ng World Vision at ng partners niya.
Ate,
Ibigay mo in
oo.
2003.
Mm.
Tapos
Ah,
ngayon, nakuha ulit.
Ate, maputol lang kita. Gusto ko kitang putulin kasi napakalakas ng faith mo, no? I mean, you pray for everything that you do. And then, yun nga, if it's God's will, it will happen or nangyari na nga. Paano naman sa mga pagkakataon na limbawa na hindi siya para sa'yo? Not necessarily nangyari sa'yo, ate, ha? Pero gusto kong lumiko lang onti doon, segue.
Na,
Paano naman yun? Pag pinagdasal mo,
yun
hindi
yung
napunta sa'yo, okay lang ba yun?
yun yung ano parang feeling ko, Lord, kung hindi sa akin, hindi sa akin, let me know. Parang ganon. Pero naging affirmation sa akin kasi ang dasal ko lagi, Lord, I only want to do your will. Kaya parang
Okay.
yun sa pagpasok ko sa kumbento, hindi ko
Aha.
decision yung natanggap ako. Sabi nung madre, sabi ko, Sister, how sure am I that this is God's will for me? Sagot nung madre,
Mm.
it was not just your decision to apply. It was a council decision
Ah.
to accept you. Tapos later,
Oh,
pinalabas
wow.
ako.
Mm-mm.
No, pinalabas ako, sabi nung madre, nung pinalabas ako, usually yung pinakamahirap daw niyang gawin, yung magpalabas ng sister. Kasi
Aha.
yung feeling mo, you are rejected. Sabi niya, but you're making it so easy for me. Sabi niya, why is that? Sabi niya. Sabi ko, kung hindi po yun ang gusto ng Panginoon para sa akin, I'm going to accept it. I was given a holy vacation, hindi ko pala siya vocation. So, ganon. So, everything, yun siguro din, ang pasalamat ko sa Diyos. There were times I tried to apply for work na
Aha.
hindi naman binibigay ng Panginoon. Kasi ang lagi kong dasal, Lord, kung hindi po sa akin ito, show me yung kung saan niyo ako gustong dalhin. Minsan nga, kahit nasa jeep ako, naiiyak ako pag halimbawa nakakita ako. I think he put it in my heart. Kaya nung nalaman ko na yung si Bob Pierce, na ang
Aha.
sabi niya, let my heart be broken by the things that break the heart of God.
Mhm.
Because when I joined World Vision, na nakita ko, ayun pala yung rason na kahit when I was younger, na kahit nasa kalye ako, pag may nakita akong mga namamalimos, talagang minsan naiiyak ako and I pray, Lord, send somebody to show them your love. No? Kung hindi ko wala ka namang magagawa, may
Yeah.
send somebody to touch the heart of people na makakatulong sa kanila. And then yung binibigay sa akin, humbling experience din siya na
Mm.
sabi ko nga noon inutusan lang akong bumili ng suka Lord, hindi ko na naman ninais na I got to work in the Senate. Kadamihan ng
Yeah.
nakasama ko
Mm.
mga graduate ng abogasya, no? Anong ginagawa ko doon? Hotel and Restaurant Administration ang kinuha ko. But the Lord put me there. Siguro He was preparing me to work for child protection. Tapos nung akala ko tapos na ako sa child protection, nagkantin na nga lang kami, nagkaroon pa ng
Oo.
opportunity, no? And then that opportunity in 2003, natapos ng 3 projects with World Vision, I
Yeah.
left 2016. 2016 I left. And then that was the time naman 2017 my father had his third stroke. So timing na I was out of work. So I was helping my mom for almost a year sa Palawan. And that was the time then na World Vision US si Michael Green called me, Daphne, we are nominating you for the Iqbal Masi Award. Yung Iqbal Masi Award is the award that the US Department of Labor gives every year to
Mhm.
people or organization who had been working for child labor prevention. I've been working with World Vision 2003 to 2016, 13 years. And several times I know I had been nominated. In fact, even the US Embassy at one time asked for my CV. They said they were nominating me for the Iqbal Masi Award. I had some friends who nominated me for the Iqbal Masi Award. They never got it. Ang prayer ko lang, Lord, ay okay lang walang award. Sabi ko noon, nung
Uh-huh.
una lang, sabi ko lang, but Lord, if you give me this award, I'll take this as an affirmation that you're pleased with what I'm doing. Tapos na yung child labor work noong 2016. I didn't get any award. 2017, Michael Green calls me, interviews me for 2 hours. Nasa Amerika siya, nag-init na yung cellphone ko. And then, towards the end of 2018, somebody from the US Embassy called me. You had been nominated. You had been shortlisted for the Iqbal Masi Award. Wala akong trabaho. And then, yun, I won daw the 2017 Iqbal Masi Award.
Wow.
God's grace. No, I was no longer working. And then, they brought the award to Manila, the
Uh-huh.
certificate. I was going to have the awarding at the US Embassy. Sabi ko, because the lady who brought the award, one of the chief, division chief of US Dole, we knew each other from when I was doing footwear project, no? Sabi ko, I'd been nominated a number of times now that I'm no longer working. Saka pa ako nanalo ng award. Sabi niya, of course, we cannot give you the award while you are our grantee. Because I was
Okay.
director of their project, so they couldn't give me the award. So just when I gave up my work,
Okay.
they gave me the award, recognizing me for 30 years of working for children's protection. And I said, thank you, Lord. So when I got the award, I said, I share this award with everybody I've worked with the past 30 years, the children, the communities, the community watch groups, local governments, teachers. This is our award, I said. And it was very funny because I was no longer with World Vision at that time. And I was just starting, that was early 2018, no? I was just starting with Plan International because they
Mhm.
invited me to direct a project with US Dole that they got. But this was for forced labor in the fishing industry. So there I was. But I was given the chance. They wanted the reception for me. I got the awards from the ambassador at the US Embassy. And then they wanted to do a reception dun sa bahay ng deputy ng ambassador sa Forbes Park. And
Mhm.
they asked me, who do you want to be there? So of course, number one sa listahan, nandyan sila Romel, andyan yung mga friends and colleagues natin from World
Opo.
Vision, from ABK, no? Yung partners natin from ABK3. And then of course, nandun yung bago kong boss, yung country director tsaka deputy country director ng plan. And then, ito na yung nakakahiya. Nagkaroon ng opportunity to bid for another award ng US Dole to support government in addressing child labor.
Mhm.
And agad-agad tinawagan ako ni Romel, ng ating dating national director, at ng World Vision US, si Leo Hosh. They were inviting me. Sabi ko, I'm currently holding a position with Plan. And then, ang nakakatawa, so I made suggestions for the Project ACE now. And I was also giving suggestions to Plan. But of course, to
Mhm.
keep my integrity intact, yung sinasabi ko sa kanila, nung una pareho. Pero
Oo.
yung iba yung idea ng Plan, and World Vision, I think got what I want. My ideas were the same with World Vision. So I didn't tell them that World Vision was inviting me kasi hindi pa naman sure, and
Mhm.
I was kumbaga in contract with them hanggang 2018 yun, matatapos ng 2022 yung project dapat.
Oh.
So nakakatawa pa kasi we needed to get support from the Department of Labor. So kasama ko yung Deputy Country Director ng plan. We had a meeting sa Bureau of Workers in Special Concern. Paglabas namin, nung bababa na kami elevator, siyang bukas na elevator, pasok naman sila Romel, si Jun Godornes, sila Mane, sila Jun Mina. Kasi may meeting din sila
Oo.
for the proposal sa Project ACE, no? So, anyway, So yun, funny lang kasi meron kaming MOA signing sa Dole and then I took the afternoon off, nag-leave ako kasi that afternoon naman, sasamahan ko si Attorney Jean Abbott, si Annie Garcia to meet with Yusek Kukweko for World
Mhm.
Vision. So for support naman sa proposal ng World Vision. So sabi ko, Lord, kung anong gusto mo. I was already there sa ano.
Yeah.
And then after several months, yun, it was announced that we won. So, I had to say goodbye to the national director and the country director, sir. Sabi ko, I have to resign, sabi ko, because World Vision was awarded and I'm in their proposal as project director. Sabi ni
Oh.
Den. And we did not have you in ours? No, sir, because somebody, kasi nga currently employed nila ako. So, nasa
Mm.
loob niya, sabi niya, anyway, sabi niya, our loss is their gain. So cool lang siya eh. Pero yung deputy director nagalit sa akin, I'm disgusted with you, sabi niya. Uh, I resigned November 15, last day ko sa plan. Pero we
Uh-huh.
parted naman, labs ko naman sila. Pero magkaiba yun eh, kasi forced labor sa fishing. Eh ito
Oh,
child
yeah.
labor. No? So,
Oo.
November 18 was my last day doon. November 19 was my first day sa World Vision. No?
Okay.
That's the weekend. Kasi Project Ace. And I believe it was God's will also na we got Project Ace. Kasi I prayed for it. In fact, nakakatawa kasi um, I was in Jensan. We had an affair in Jensan with the fishing industry. And I had to send my CV as part ng proposal for Project Ace. Alam mo, talaga ayaw gumana yung internet. So, ang
Okay.
dasal ko noon, Lord, I put this in your hands, sabi kong ganon. If it is your will, please let this go through. If it is not your will, I will do the best I can do sa current project ko. Lo and behold, midnight, lumusot yung internet,
Oo.
lumusot yung CV ko sa World Vision. So,
Yeah,
yun.
yeah.
So, sabi ko, thank you, Lord. I know it. There are signs every now and then that tells me
Uh-huh.
yes. And when I got the Iqbal Masi Award, that was really an affirmation from the Lord na you're doing what I want. Tapos may mga times, syempre, ano lang, tapang-tapangan lang ako, pero sa totoo lang,
Tapang-tapangan ka pa niyan, Ate Dafa.
oo, mahihain ako. De, totoo lang, when I was younger, talagang mahihain ako. Natutunan lang ako magsalita kasi yung, I know I'm just a mouthpiece, no? Na ginagamit lang ako ng Panginoon for the things that I say. Kasi talagang shy ako nung una. Pero
Opo.
when you start to talk, I always pray na, Lord, put the words in my mouth. Kasi
Mm-hmm.
let me do this not for myself, not for anything, but because you are using me for the children, no? So, sabi ko nga eh, naku, sabi ko 60 na ako, magre-retire na ako. What will I do next, Lord? Lead me, no? So, I don't know if the Lord would honor it na use me still for child protection. I'll be
Opo.
very happy. But the
Ate
Lord, of
Daph,
course,
learning
will
about
keep
your
quiet.
background, ano, itong
Uh,
mga detalye na to, eh kaya naman pala buong-buo ang Project Ace. Eh kasi di ba
uh,
every time you report, di ba? And then I also write speeches dati for Kuya Romel. And then when I ask for details, kung anong nagawa ninyo, talaga namang maayos ang presentation and
it's
alam mo yun,
because of
walang
the Lord. I
tapon.
believe,
Yeah.
I believe
Oo.
it is the Lord talaga na we acknowledge na ginagamit lang kami instrument ng Panginoon. Kasi like,
Mm-hmm.
ang biruan nga namin nun sa ABK, no? Yung ABK 1, 2, and 3, at the Lord uses fools. Kasi the wise, minsan they have their own ideas eh. Di ba? So, if you are allowed the Lord to, lalo na ako noon, nung una pa ha, ito I thank Senya Ligaspi. I know you've met Senya Ligaspi. No,
Opo.
ABK 1 pa. Kasi nga, ano ako, aktivista ako eh. Madaling uminit ang ulo ko. So, makikipag-meeting ka sa government officers, officials. Minsan, nababagalan ka. Yung tipong ganon, di ba? Minsan, nasa meeting ako, naiinis ako. Mag-chat ako text ko si Senya. Nakakainis yung ganito. Te-text niya lang ako, what would Jesus do?
Uh,
So that will quiet me down. So nga, kahit galit ka na, you'll try to find words na makaka-inspire imbes na makasira, di ba? Tapos dala mo yung pangalan ng World Vision dito, nakalagay, hindi ka pwedeng magbura, hindi ka pwedeng magalit, kasi you need to live your Christian witness, di ba? Pero I think that has helped me also kasi uh, being with World Vision has reminded me of my calling na anak ka ng Panginoon, hindi ka dapat, kahit anong galit ko na, sabi nga nila niloloko nila ako nung ABK 2 and 3, yung kulanag daw, hindi daw
Aha.
dapat CU, dapat daw yung COOL. Kasi cool daw ako. Kala nyo lang cool ako, pero inside I'm boiling, yung ganon. Pero Senya has always taught me, no? Pag mainit na ulo mo, what would Jesus do?
Ate, itong maraming achievements ninyo, no, throughout the years, and also, of course, with Project ACE, you've been in partnership with governments, local, international, with private sector, families, and communities. Palagay ninyo, paano nila ito masusustain?
Ayan, magandang
Para,
question. Oo. Naniniwala ako the Lord has started touching hearts. Kasi ang response ng partners natin from barangay level, city level, hanggang regional and national level, very inspiring na. No? Kung dati nababagalan ako sa kilos ng government, I'm happy now that the Lord has touched their hearts na sila na confident kami na even after the project, we've already been used to plant the seeds, no? So we're working at all levels. May mga ordinances, hindi lang naman work, ganon, pero we make sure may mga ordinances sila. We help them with their reporting and referral mechanisms. Yun yung pasalamat ko sa Panginoon kasi more than 30 years ago, para kaming voice in the wilderness pag
okay.
pinag-uusapan ng children's rights. Lalo na
Mhm.
nung panahon ko, nakikita ka lang, di ka naririnig. Ganun ang sinasabi sa mga bata. Ngayon, we're talking of children's participation. We're talking of
Oo nga.
hearing from the children, no? So, lumawak na, nag-spread out na yung advocacy for child protection. Malayo na, pero malayo pa rin nung lalakbayin kasi nandiyan pa rin ang online sexual abuse and exploitation, andiyan pa rin yung mga karumal-dumal na ginagawa sa mga bata, pero naniniwala ako, dahil yan sa demonyo. But because we have God on our side or we hold on to the Lord, we know that the Lord is only using us. The Lord is only using the project. The Lord is using World Vision. I'm sure we will, by God's grace, survive and thrive. No? And yung mga partners natin, I'm encouraged. Kasi I believe somehow na-inspire naman sila and now they're motivated. In fact, the project is ending soon and we would like to recognize no yung mga nasimulang initiatives with government. And we're seeing more and more of their stake, no?
Mhm.
They're doing more than we've asked them to do. And that's a clear sign from me that the Lord has already triumphed in their hearts. The Lord has raised up more servants, more soldiers in the campaign against child exploitation. Marami pang gagawin, but I believe the Lord is continuing to touch people's hearts. Mga politiko, mga magulang, mga bata mismo, mga teachers, matatalo natin yung demonyo because kakampi natin ang Panginoon. So,
Ate Daph, maraming
salamat.
salamat po sa oras ninyo ha. We should have a part 2 of this discussion kasi
Ay,
napaka-rich po ng
sorry, ang
kwentuhan
haba na
natin.
nung ating usapan.
No,
Mag-e-edit
no.
din ang todo.
Kami po, nagpapasalamat kami sa inyo. And sa lahat po ng sumama sa amin, sa pakikinig, sa panonood, maraming salamat po for joining us sa isang Usapang Makabata. I leave you with this prayer, Psalm 127:3-5. Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from Him, like arrows in the hands of a warrior are children born in one's youth. Maraming salamat po ulit sa inyong lahat. Ate Daph, thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you all. And God continue to use us to protect the children.